Hello everyone, we will solve this today's LeetCode problem. This is LeetCode hard patching array. Let's see the question. So question is very short. Let's see, given a sorted integer array nums, an integer and add or patch elements to the array such that any number in the range 1 to n inclusive can be formed by the sum of some elements in the array. Okay, return the minimum number of patches required. Okay, so we need to add elements, uh, any number in the range 1 to n, which can be formed some of the sum elements in the array. If we see an example here, it is given 1 3 and n is equals to 6. So we need to add any number such that this number n is equals to 6. It means every number from 1 to 6 is achievable. It's achievable if we add any elements of nums, right? So any number, each number from 1 to 6, each number from 1 to 6 should be, must be achievable if we add any elements of nums, right? So if we are not able to achieve, then we need to add some elements so that I can achieve any number of elements from 1 to 6. That's the question, basically, right? So basically we need to basically we need to add some numbers some numbers in our nums array such that each number from 1 to n 1 to n is achievable, right? Achievable by summation of any elements, any elements present in nums, right? And that should be also only taken one time, right? It should be only taken, it has not written, but it should be taken only one time. If we see example, we can reduce that, right? We can only take this one only one time, this three only one time, right? So if we see the first example, which is a very basic example, this nums 1 to 3 and 1 to 6. So for n is equals to 6, we need to achieve all the numbers 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, 1 second. 5 6 7 and 6, right? 1 to 6. So if I try to achieve this one, I can achieve this by taking this one, right? One is achievable, right? So one is achievable, right? One is achievable. Now for second, is second is achievable. If we see this one, and after this is 3, so 1 3 is 4, but 2 is not achievable. So I this 2 is not achievable, so I need to add something to make it achievable, right? So I need to add something to make it achievable. So I need to add minimum number of patches required. So I need to add minimum number of elements so that all the elements should be achievable. So for including 2, what should I add? So one thing you see here, if I, for including 2, I can either add 1 or I can either add 2 to this nums. So if I add 1 only, if I add 1, so the minimum number of the number is 1. If I add 1 in this, so we will add 1. So this 2 is okay, right? Now this 3 is achievable by, because 3 is already given, so this is also okay, right? Now this 4, if we want to make 4, so 3 plus 1 is 4, so this is also achievable. Now for 5, if we see 3 plus 2, which is 5, so it is also achievable, right? Now for 6, if you see here, we again need to add something to achieve this 6, because the summation of total numbers, maximum value is 5 only, right? So we need to again add something. So what do we need to add? We need to again add 1 to achieve 6, right? So we will add 1, and we will again add 6, and this 1, and this is, so the minimum number of numbers which we have added is 2, right? The number of numbers which we have added is 2 for to achieve 1 to 6. But instead of this adding 2 1, can I add simply 2? If I add simply 2 instead of adding two ones, so I will require only one, I will require only one operations to add number. But after adding 2, is all the numbers are achievable? Let's see. This 1 is achievable, yeah, this 1 is achievable. This 2 is achievable, yes, 2 is achievable. Is 3 is achievable, yes, 3 is also achievable. So it's 4 is 4 can be some 4 can we get, yes. 3 plus 1 4 can we get. Is 5 can we get, yes. 3 plus 2 5 we can get by summation. It's 6, yes, summation of 3 to 1 is 6. So instead of adding two ones, we can add simply a simple 2 to get this answer, which is the minimum number of answer, and which is also is 1, right? So answer is 1 for this example, right? So one thing you observe here, that instead of adding the same number, same instead of adding the same number twice, instead of adding the same number twice, we should add any other distinct number, any other distinct number, right? Any other distinct number to get to what for why, because that will give us can also form some other numbers which can be achievable between the targets, right? So one thing is also here, that here it is n is given 2 to the 31 minus 1, and the num size tends to power 4, right? And num's length is tends to power 3 only, right? So basically tends to power 4 and tends to power 3 is basically tends to power 7. It's basically tends to power 7. And this 2 power 31 minus 1 is also some between the max integers, which basically, so basically it can be go to 10 to the power 9, right? 10 to the power 9, right? So there are two possibilities here, that either the total summation of nums array is can be greater or smaller than, and it's it's not written anywhere that this n is must be greater than this total nums array, right? So this n can be greater than or smaller than any of the numbers or the summation of all the numbers, right? The second thing is clear, right? Now, so what the thing is, how we will find the number of elements which can be added to get the number all the to get all the summation of numbers from 1 to 6. So one thing is, see here, if we see here in this case 1 5 and is equals to 20. One thing if we see here is this from 1 to 20, for 1 to 20, if we add 1 to 20, see this 1 is available, yes, 1 is achievable. If is 2 is achievable, no, 2 is not achievable. So I will add 2 and increment my answer by 1, because I have added 2, so I need to increment my answer by 1. So I've incremented it. So if you see here, if I added 2, so you think that I don't need to add 3? I don't need to add 3 also. Why? Because this 1 plus 2 gives us 3, right? This 1 plus 2 gives us 3. 1 plus 2 gives us 3. So it means I don't need to add 3. It means after this 3, if there is no any number, I need to add that, right? So after this 3, it is 5 coming, but 4 is achievable. Is 4 is achievable? No, 4 is not achievable, because there is no 4 in that. So 1 plus 2 is maximum 3, and 3 plus 5 is 8. So basically 4 is not achievable, so I need to add 4 also. So I will add 4. So this basically need to add also. So if you see, if I added 4, it means we don't need to add. If we added 4, it means this 3 plus 4 is 7. So what does it mean? It means I don't need to I don't need to add any number between 4 to 7. Why? Because every number between 4 to 7 is achievable. How? See, we added 4, right? So 1 plus 2 is 3. 4 is already achievable. 4 plus 1, 5 is already achievable. 5 is already there, but this 4 plus 1 5 can be summation can be possible. 4 plus 2 6 already available. 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 7 is already available because 7 is, so we don't need to add any number between 4 to 7, right? Let's see another example, right? So this 4 is available now. After this 7, after this 7, what number we do want to add? 8, right? But this 7, this summation 7, and we have already 5 in our nums array, so 7 plus 5 is 12. 7 plus 5 is 12. So this 12, what does it mean? It means simply that this 12, this 12 that we don't need to add any we don't need to add any number from between we don't need to add any number between 8 to 12. Why I'm saying this? See, this 12 is greater than this 10, right? This 12 is greater than this 10. It means we can achieve every number between this 8 to 12. How? See, we already got 7 by adding 4 to 1, right? This 7 can be, so if I want to get 8, see, this 5 is already with us. So basically, which numbers are with us? This 10, right? These are the total numbers we have till now, because we have added two numbers. So if I want to get 8, if I want to get 8, how big can I get? I can get by adding this 5 to 1, which is 8, right? This 1 to 1 plus 2 plus 5, I can get it. For 9, how we can get? I can get it by 4 plus 5. For 10, how can I get? For 10, how can I get? Either I can take summation of 1 plus 4 plus 5, or I can simply take as 10, right? Or 1 plus 4 plus 5, right? For 11, again 10 plus 11, 1. For 12, 10 plus 2. So if you see basically, till 12 I don't need to add anything. Till 12 I don't need to add anything. It means, and after all, this 10 is already available. After all, this 10 is already available. It means this 12 plus 10, this 12 plus 10 give me 22. And I'm claiming that I also don't need to add anything between this 13 to 22. Again, if you don't believe, you can see that. See, the target is 20 till 20 only, right? The target is still 20, but I'm telling you that if I already add this numbers 1 2 4 5 10, and it gives me 22, it means I don't need to add till 22 any numbers. See, this 12 is give me 10 plus 2. For 13, I can get 10 plus 1 plus 2 again, right? For 14, I can get 10 plus 4. See, you see, I can form any number. Between these numbers. So basically, what does it pattern is if you observe a pattern, if you observe a pattern if you observe a pattern here, it's a simple pattern, right? It's a simple pattern. If you see here, that if I take some value of nums, and if any number which is present in nums is less than is less than is, or is greater than this summation value, it means I need to definitely add some plus one number in my array in my array, to get that number, right? What does it mean? It means, if you see, in this first example, we need to achieve from 1 to 6 each and every number, right? We need to achieve every number. But in the array, in the nums array, we have only given 1 and 3, right? 1 and 3. So when you add the summation 1, I, as it is fine, but this 3 is greater than this 1. It means 2 cannot be achievable. 2 cannot be, we cannot get 2, we cannot get 2 by summation of any elements, right? We cannot get 2 by summation of any elements, so I need to add definitely 2 to get 2. We need to add 2 for get 2, because this 3 is greater than this sum plus 1, which is 2. This 3 is greater than this 2, it means I cannot achieve 2, so I need to add 2 in my nums array. Definitely I need to add this 2 in my nums array. Okay, yeah, I need to definitely add a nums array in my 2 in my nums array, right? Sorry, add 2 in my nums array, right? So basically, if we see any example, let's take a simple example, that is 1, that nums array is only at 1, to understand in very simple approach, right? To understand very simple approach, and is 20, right? So one thing is, I have one, right? I have one, and I want to get 2, but don't have any number, so I need to add 2. I need to add 2, so I will add 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Now the thing is, I can achieve every number from 1 to 3 simply, right? So but after this 3, if I want to get 4, if I want to get 4, I cannot, I'm not able to get 4, so I need to add that also. So for that I will add that also. So basically, which numbers are we getting? 1, 2, 4. I'm again getting 4. Now this will be 3 plus 4, which is 7. Now if you see, I can get each and every number from 1 to 7. 1 to 3, 4. 4 plus 1 is 5, 4 plus 2 is 6, 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. So I don't need to add any number below 7. So now I want to get 8. For 8 I need to add something, so what I will add, I will add 8. So 7 plus 8, which is equals to 15. So basically I will add 8. So this is 15. So if you observe here, the same thing is happening, that if the number is not, if the summation value, sum plus 1 value is not in my nums array, I will add it. And if after adding it is greater than this element, then I don't need to add again the same thing, right? So it's basically the simple greedy approach. It's basically the simply greedy approach. It is simply the greedy way to solve this problem, right? So if you see, it's definitely not a hard problem. This is marked as hard, but I don't think this is a hard problem. This is an hard problem. This is, I don't think this is an hard problem. It's basically the greater than medium, greater than medium, right? And less than hard. Definitely it's not an hard, it is less than hard, right? And I must have solved this same problem in some of the contest, uh, in some other languages, but I simply know that this is not a hard problem. I already solved this problem in some other contest. I don't know when, but this is not a hard problem. So yeah, this is greedy way. So how we will approach this problem? Definitely, how will the implementation will be done? This is to know that I will know that I need to add the numbers, but how we will add and how we will implement that. So let's try to implement that, right? Let's try to implement that. Let's try to implement that, right? Uh, just right. Let's try to implement that, right? So let's take example of 158. Again, take, okay, one thing is here to note that the number is sorted. The number is sorted, so I don't need to sort it to get the numbers in a sequence, right? The number is already sorted, right? So this is 9, and let's take it as 12, or take it as 12. Yeah, right. Take it as 12, and is, let's take as 30. Right? Let's do this now. No. We want each number. We want to get the summation from 1 to 30, right? Now the thing is, how we will achieve this? We have 1, 5, 8, 9, and 11 and 12. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and right, the same thing. Now let's take is a summation, right? Let's take a summation which is 0, and let's take the started with 1. We got 1, so we have take it as 1, right? We have take it as 1. Now this 1 is achievable, right? This one is achievable. Okay, this one is achievable. Now when we go to this 5 is greater than this summation. This 5 is greater than, okay, this 5 is greater than this, uh, let's take it as sum plus 1, right? So this 5 is greater than this 2 value. The cnt is 2. 1 is already achievable. Now we want 2. Now we want 2 to achieve, right? But this 5 is greater than this 2. It means I can never be achieve this 2 value because it is already sorted. It means if this 5 is greater than this 2, it means all the numbers are already greater than 2. It means I will never achieve this 2 value, right? So I need to add this 2. I need to add this 2, so I will add this 2 simply. I will add this 2. So if I add this 2 in my array, if I add this 2 in my array, if I decide to in my array, now the sum becomes, now the sum becomes 3. If the sum becomes 3, this cnt becomes 4, right? Now my next target will be to achieve 4, because 3 is already achievable by adding 1 plus 2, which is 3, right? So my target is now to add to achieve 4. So if I see here, this 5 is again greater than 4. It means I cannot achieve 4 anyhow. So I need to add this 4. So when I add this 4, if I add this 4, uh, if I add this 4, if I add this 4, I need to increment this. Now when I add this 4, it becomes 7. So if it is 7, it means I need to now my next target is 8. But one thing is here, that this 7, this 8 is greater than this 5. It means if it is greater than this 5, it means each number between 1 to 8 is 1 to 7 is achievable, right? 1 to 7 is achievable. It means I can simply add this 5 in my summation value. So if I add this, it becomes 12. It becomes 12. It means, what does it mean? It means I can achieve each and every number from 1 to 12 now. Why? Because the previous target was 8, but this 5 is already less than this 8. This 5 is already less than 8. It means this 8 can be achievable. This 8 can be achievable if after adding this 5 is greater than this 8 value. So after adding this 5, this is becomes 12. It means I can get any number from 1 to 12, right? Now my next target should be 13. Now my next target should be 13. So if you see, basically, from 1 to 1 to 4 5, I can simply get each and every number between 1 to 12. Let's see, if I want to achieve 8, so 5 2 1, which is 3, which is 8. If I want to get 9, 5 4 9. If I want to get 10, 5 4 9 plus 1 is 10. If I want to get 11, so it's 5 4 9, 9 plus 2 11, and 1 2 4 5 is 12. So I can get all the numbers from 1 to 12, right? My next target is 13. This 13 is already greater than this 8, so I can simply add this 8 in my, so it is now becomes 20. Now my next target should be 21, because each and every number would be definitely greater than this, would each and every number would be achievable between 1 to 20 if I take all of these numbers, right? So the I is at 3 now. I is at 3 now because these numbers are already taken, and till now I have added only two numbers, and n is 30, and I have not achieved my target yet. I have not achieved my 30 yet, right? So I will see this 9. So this 9 is again greater than this 20. This 9 is again less than this 21. It means I can simply add 9. If I add 9, it will give me 29, which is 29. It means every number from 1 to 29 is achievable, and my next target should be 30. Next target should be 30. This 30 is already greater than this 12. So it means I can simply add this 12. I can simply add this 12, which is equals to 9 to 11, and this is 341. It means from 41, from 1 to 41, each number can be achievable from these numbers only, right? Now my next target should be 42, but if you see, we have achieved our target, which is the last number, which is 30, and this summation is already greater than 41. So we will don't check further for any problems, because we have added only two numbers. The answer will be only two for this question. So the answer would be only the answer would be only two for this question, right? So we have only added 2 and 4, and we can achieve each a number from 1 to 41, and n is 30. Now this n is greater than this n is greater than this n is greater than this whole number, right? But what if n was only n was only let's take 10, right? N was only 10, but what was n was only 10? So if n was only 10, I will check till n only. If this summation value is greater than this 10 at any point, I will don't need to check further for these values, because this 10 is the last position, right? So this is how we will solve the problem. So basically what we are doing, we are we are just adding we are just adding the nums value if it is less than the number I need, and if the number if the number is greater than, if the current number of nums if the current number of nums is greater than the summation plus one value, because this is the achievable target I want to achieve, right? This is the achievable target I want to achieve. So if it is greater than this summation plus one value, it means I need to add that number. It means I need to add summation plus one value in nums right? In nums, right? And if it is less than, and if the current number is less than, if current number is less than, then our next target, then from 1 to uh, less than the summation value, summation value summation plus one value. So i will simply add the number of num current number of array array in my summation value, right? And our next target would be, and our next target to achieve would be the summation plus one, right? So basically what we are doing here, we are generating a new target after taking summation. Our ultimate target is n. But after taking summation, our next target is summation plus one value, that I need to achieve summation plus one value anyhow. If I achieve that, I will again move to summation plus one value till this n is till we don't achieve greater than the next equals to n value, right? Let's try to implement this. You will be better understand, right? So let's take the summation value, this nums dot size, right? The first thing what we need to do, we need to take a summation value, right? Again we will take a 1, because the number is starting from one value, right? And n is also started from 1. Sorry, sorry. So its sum is equals to 0, and the first target is 1, the smallest target is 1, right? So this cnt is the target value. It's the next immediate target I want to achieve. The ultimate target is n, but the next target is 1. So the value is should be always sum plus 1. It will be always sum plus 1, right? Now I will move till size. So I need to also define this I value, which is 0. So this is just a moving in, right? Okay. The first thing, the first thing what we need to see, the first thing I need to see is that I need to just check that whether this count value, whether this target value is achievable or not. So this target value, if it is less than the current sum, it means okay, two things are here. either this target is less than num psi or it is greater than equals to num psi. If it is greater than equals to the current num psi, it means I have already achieved all those numbers from 1 to target, right? So I will just add this number in my summation. So what I will do, I will just add this nums in my summation, right? And I will increment the nums for the next element, right? Because this is already achievable, this num psi is already achievable, is target is greater than equals to num psi, right? Now, if what if this target is less than num psi? If this target is less than num psi, it means this target is never achievable by taking summation of any number. It means I need to add this target to my summation. So I need to add this target to my nums array. So the answer would be plus plus, because I have added a number in my nums array. Now this number should be summation in target value, right? This should be added. And now also, if it is added, I need to check again. So this target should be also updated, because if the we added the summation in target and if we added summation num psi, in both of the cases my target would be updated. What it would be? It would be sum plus one, right? Because if I change this summation, our target should also be changed, because then next immediate target would be sum plus one. So it's basically that if I got a sum value, it means it only means that I can achieve I can achieve each and every number from 1 to sum 1 to sum, right? Each every number from 1 to sum. That's why I need to get another target which is sum plus 1, just one greater than the current sum, right? And if the target is less than num psi, it will be answer. Now the main thing is, if this is the final target, this n would be the final target, right? This n would be the final target. So if basically, if this target value is, if this target value is greater than if it is target value is greater than equals to none value, I need to break it out. Why? Because this target is sum plus 1. This target is sum plus 1. It means sum is already achievable. The sum is already achievable, and this target is sum plus 1. That's why I have added equals to sign, because it's a difference of 1. So that's why I have added equals to n. So if it is target is greater than equals to n, I would break it. Now the thing is, it is possible now, it is possible that the nums already, I have taken all the nums, this while loop ended, but this target is never greater than equals to n, right? Either it is breaking, or either it is breaking. So if this breaks, it means the target never achieved, right? The target never achieved. It means I need to check now that whether this summation is already less than n or not, right? I need to again check after this end, because this is for only iteration in nums. So I need to check that if summation is still less than n, it means I need to add my target, which is the target, and I need to also add this number. It's the same process. It's the same process. This one, it's the same process, and I add, it's the same process. I need to add this, and the target would be sum plus one. Target would be sum plus one. Right? The target would be sum plus one. It's the same process. So basically, this is how we will just solve this, and until I will less than answer. If the sum is greater than equals to 1, it means I have achieved all the numbers, and I will return answer. Right? Simply. So either you can write this sum, or you can write this target. It totally depends on implementation purpose, right? Either you can write it like target less than equals to n, or you can write sum less than n, right? So if sum is less than n, it means I will add again and again, and next target would be sum plus 1 and return answer. So let's try to just run this. uh, okay, I have not defined answer, so answer will be 0. Let's run this again. We have passed all the cases. Let's submit it. Sample cases, of course, not all the cases. Okay, one thing's here. We have I've realized after submitting it that the answer can be overflowed. Why? Because n can be 2147. So when you add this sum plus target, it would be greater than this n can be possibility this. So I need to take this long. Right? I need to take this long. Now this will be work fine. Right? Now this will work fine. I've realized it by after submitting it. So yeah, this is how we solve this problem. So basically, it's such a simple question. It's not an hard one. I have definitely solved this problem in some of the contest. I don't know. I will check this and uh, give to you the link. I've just because this is not an hard problem because they just need to take a summation and check whether the next target is achievable or not. Right? If you conclude this, if we conclude this, if we conclude the logic, the thing is we need to just the summation take the summation of numbers present in summation of numbers present in nums and check that sum plus one value is achievable or not. That's the whole logic of this problem. Achievable or not, that's the whole simple logic of this problem, right? I hope you have understood it. I hope you have understood it. You have understood it. Thank you so much. Bye bye.